Once upon a time, in the shadowy corners of Eldergrove, where the trees whispered secrets and the moonlight danced on the cobblestones, I, Seraphina, found myself trapped in a life that felt more like a nightmare than a fairy tale. My days were spent in the service of my stepmother, Lady Morwenna, a woman whose heart was as cold as the winter frost. Isolde and Gwendolen, who were as cruel as they were beautiful, and they took great pleasure in reminding me of my lowly status. I was the servant in my own home, forced to scrub floors and tend to their whims while they adorned themselves in silks and jewels. But there was a flicker of hope in my heart, a dream of escape that kept me going. I had heard whispers of a grand ball at the castle, where the prince would choose a bride. Perhaps, just perhaps, I could find a way to attend. One fateful evening, as I sat by the fireplace, my fingers stained with soot, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was my fairy godmother, a being of ethereal beauty, but with a glint of mischief in her eyes. "Seraphina," she said, her voice like the tinkling of bells. "I can grant you a night of magic, but beware. The glass slipper comes with a price." I nodded, desperate for a chance to escape my dreary existence. With a wave of her hand, my rags transformed into a gown of shimmering silver, and my feet were adorned with delicate glass slippers that sparkled like stars. "Remember," she warned, "the magic will fade at midnight, and the slipper will bind you to your fate." As I arrived at the castle, the world around me transformed. The grand hall was filled with laughter and music, and for the first time, I felt like I belonged. The prince, a handsome young man named Alaric, approached me, his eyes filled with intrigue. We danced under the chandeliers, lost in a whirlwind of enchantment. But as the clock struck midnight, a chill ran down my spine. I fled, leaving behind one of the glass slippers, my heart pounding with fear. The next day, the prince sent out a search for the owner of the slipper. I watched from the shadows as Isolde and Gwendolen tried to fit their feet into the delicate glass. But when it was my turn, I felt a strange sensation as the slipper slid onto my foot. It was as if the glass had fused with my skin, a bond that sent a shiver of dread through me. Alaric looked at me with wonder, but I could see the darkness lurking in his gaze. "You are the one," he declared, but I felt the weight of the curse pressing down on me. The glass slipper was not merely a token of love. It was a binding spell that would tie my fate to the prince's, for better or worse. As the days passed, I discovered the truth. The prince was not the charming hero I had imagined. He was a puppet of his mother, Queen Elowin, a sorceress who sought to control the kingdom through dark magic. The glass slipper was a key to a sinister plan, one that would turn me into a vessel for the queen's power. Desperate to break free, I sought the counsel of my fair